Rolf on Symmetra. Torb is going to be Ultima. Psycho Waffle does switch on to the Mercy as the single support. Xe is probably going to be holding the high ground on Soldier 76. Dot and Chronic playing the tanks as a Roadhog and a Reinhardt, respectively. So kind of an older look here as the double builder mechanics come out. This is really good if you can hold the first couple pushes.
It definitely is a bit of an older look coming out from the side one-shot, but I think it's still effective. We've seen Torbjorn do a lot of good work here in this meta. We've seen, of course, Internet Hulk on Torbjorn get all sorts of values. So Torbjorn, a more situational character, but definitely someone where from time to time on certain maps, certain points, definitely can have a little bit of value.
Absolutely. Now, Clockwork is going to be running an offensive Reaper, which I find pretty interesting here. They are going to run a combo, too, and that's going to be Steel and Pure taking to the skies.
Fair, of course, very integral in the meta right now, but definitely for offense on Hollywood. We used to see Fair even before the Widow nerfs, which was a little bit scary because of how good Widow was, but Steel right now getting right into it, landing some rockets from long range. Papa Smurf and Flame getting in there as well. Down goes the turret, down goes Dot. But Wolf coming in with the double kill on Symmetra, channeling his inner Flame and Steel. Oh no, is Steel gonna die Symmetra? Steel getting a concussive blast off, going to live, but look at the L charge now on Wolf. He's gonna have a teleporter up, and this is greatly going to help the one-shot defense.
It's actually really smart. That's the strength of the double builder, is that you don't have enough to deal with both of them. They sent in both their Winston and Lucio to the right side, dealt with the Torbjorn pretty quickly, but it just wasn't enough to deal with Rolf. And so now that Sentry is back set up, the turret is all back set up. It's really nice to be able to hold early pushes with this kind of defense.
No, one shot definitely looking pretty good here to start things out. You gotta like the look that we're seeing from him, but here comes Flame leaping there as Winston, but he didn't have the rest of his team with him. It takes a lot of damage and actually goes down as a result. The team was not with Flame, and Flame got punished as a result, and now, looking at this, the offense a little bit kneecapped here. They don't have the Winston to really do disruption now. Steel almost going down, and if anything, they probably just want to back up a little bit and wait for Flame to get back into this fight.
Yeah, oddly enough, Flame has been struggling on his Winston on this map. I watched him over the weekend, and he missed 2 jumps and died. He almost misses that jump there, does get in towards the end. He's going to pop Primal Race, just try to disrupt things. This turret is still going ham.
Xe taking out Steel with authority there. The Tac Visor stopping that push cold. Xe making it a double kill. The Resurrection is going to come in here, so it's not all over yet for Splyce, but definitely not the best look for them on this push. As really good looks here from one shot to hold it in. But here we go. We do have the barrage come out from Steel from the back, takes out 2. The Resurrection giving them that value. Defensive res will be up. There is not a teleporter up here either, so defense will not be able to stream in. Graviton Surge coming in, Steel at the fall through, and it was a little bit rough, especially the way that begun, but off of the big Resurrection from the side of Splyce, they were able to stay in there.
Yeah, and it's something we actually haven't seen much out of Splyce, is being able to win a pretty long, sustained fight. That fight went on forever, and they just kept pulling a small advantage over small advantage. They took out the Torb, they took out the Symmetra teleporter, and then they brought back the Res, and were able to get kill after that. It's a nice look from them that we haven't necessarily seen before. Now, it's going to be interesting what they can do in the second stage of Hollywood, is this is where all of their maps have ended on Hollywood recently, and where are they going to be able to transition into things that can take rooftops into a more effective composition?
Well, we'll have to see. We do have some switch-ups, of course, coming in from the side of one shot. Ultimate Weapon is on the defensive Pharah, takes down Flame. I'm not sure why Flame was that far out. I mean, I get making space for the offense, but that just felt like a little bit of a feat. And now the defense being very aggressive, pushing into the offense, but this is where they have to be careful as well. They're getting punished as Steel takes out an Ultimate Weapon. One mistake deserves another. Flame died early there, but so did the defense of one shot. That was way too aggro, and Splyce was able to get in and punish them.
Yeah, they just look really nice now that they're getting kills. Steel has had a great game. They're holding very far forward here. I hope they don't get punished for it, as you can absolutely get punished here. But Clockwork comes into the behind. No one's really dealing with him right now. He's getting to the back line. He makes them readjust their angle.
Oh, he's still hunting after the Mercy. This is great movement coming out from Clockwork, and he takes out Psycho, builds the Death Blossom. Not going to get a chance to use it, but I loved how Clockwork was stalking the Mercy there and was able to get the kill. And the defense really not stabilizing. The payload's been moving forward at a consistent clip now for Splyce, and here comes the Death Blossom in from Clockwork. Gets absolutely nothing out of it, but might not even need to, as the defense still kind of floundering at the moment.
I mean, credit to Clockwork, yeah, but you can't let a Reaper get into your backline and go unchecked for the 15 seconds he was back there.
All right, so we do have the Justice raining here from the side of Ultimate Weapon. Doesn't quite get what he's looking for. Ultimate Weapon, though, getting on top of the payload. Will it be enough for the defense? Probably not, as he's just way too outnumbered right now. Everyone from the side of Splyce swarming onto that point. Chronic doing his best, swinging the hammer, keeping the payload from moving forward. He's actually going to get the double kill. W Mouse 1 getting way too much value, as Lucio right now saying, I don't want any part of that. And somehow the defense able to hold that down. A lot due to the heroics of Chronic.
Yeah, Chronic was there. He was able to beat up on a couple severely softened up targets because Dot stayed alive much longer than his McCree had any business doing after he got a couple kills. Really softened up the targets of the Winston and the Lucio there and let Chronic come in and clean it up.
All right, so taking a look at here, Steel on the pursuit. It does have Barrage at the ready. That Barrage is going to be very, very important to to the side of Splyce as they move in here. And pretty good offensive run. Steel immediately taking out Roof Flame on the Chronic. McCree was trying to flank in the back, going to get Barrage, but gets flashbanged in turn. And the way that's going to work out is that he actually saves the Barrage there, effectively.
Yeah, I mean, that's some silver lining. Both medics went down, both Mercies rather, went down early in that fight, and now there's going to be a pretty nice ultimate advantage for the offense pushing in here. I almost have a completely loaded deck minus Earth Shatter. But they did stall him up pretty decent on that second stage there, and I'm actually kind of surprised. It's the first time I've ever seen Splyce cap second point.
Clockwork was looking for the quick pick off on someone going through the door. They did check the corner. They're going to push him back. But Clockwork, nothing really getting punished there. Not going to get hooked in by the Roadhog, but they're actually going to challenge us. They're moving forward. Clockwork looking for the Death Blossom. Is he going to go to the back? No, he's going to get taken out by Dot's right click. Good stuff coming in there from Dot to take out Clockwork, and now defense can be a little bit more aggro, but One Shot has to be careful not to repeat the mistake that they did in the Streets phase where they went too aggro and could not reestablish control.
Yeah, they do lose Psycho Waffle here early, which is a little bit rough as now the offense is coming in. They're going to use that window to resurrect their own team. Whole Hog comes out, though. That should push them back momentarily.
Ultimate Weapon was looking for the Barrage and the Mercy, just did not get the value he was looking for. Meanwhile, we have a Justice from Steel. He's going to get hooked down and killed. But overall, Splyce getting the kills they need to get. They're moving forward. They're getting what they need. Clockwork down to double kill, makes it a triple kill. Left clicking everyone down, and Mercy just running to him. This room service right now for Reaper as Clockwork getting everything he needs and more.
Yeah, it does come down to actually Naps or Psycho Waffle dying pretty early in that last fight. That opened up the resurrection for Team Splyce. They were able to have the advantage there, killed there, and then once Psycho Waffle was back up, he only got a single res up because he had to in desperation times, and he got cleaned up yet again. So the Mercy meta is real. Dying early as Mercy really puts your team that far behind.
Definitely, and I'm a little bit surprised. I think this is the play at the very end of the game where Mercy, I guess, just wasn't paying attention to Clockwork. No, it's not at the very end of the game. But the play at the very end of the game, Mercy just wasn't paying attention to Clockwork, and Clockwork's just like, okay, Mercy wants to come up right close to me. Why not? I'll accept. Yeah,
it appears that Clockwork is just running his invisibility cloak as no one's really focusing him down and just not taking Reaper seriously as a threat. They all ran out of that door on second stage Hollywood. He wraithed in through them, going the other way, and then they just said, oh, someone else will deal with it. He was sitting on the back line forever, was able to take down Psycho during that engagement as well, so I mean, you can't let a player like Clockwork, or even a hero, anyone on Reaper, sit in your back lines completely unopposed like that. They need to start focusing fire or making the right call that who's going to deal with this guy, because they didn't several times, and he ended up punishing him for it.
Absolutely, but we are going to be switching rounds here, and time-wise, this is actually going to be a pretty difficult time for One Shot to beat. I feel like on Hollywood, anything that's sub 7 minutes, while it is beatable, it really requires absolute heroics to get through and do that, or a collapse from the other team, so Splyce able to get things through even after somewhat of a shaky start in first point, because you look back at what One Shot was able to do. They delayed for a long time on point one. Yeah. Unfortunately for them, their Streets phase, they got a little bit over aggro at one point. They went for the face, so to speak. It went in deep, got punished, and they were never able to stabilize really for the rest of the match.
I think what the time generally means is that you can lose 4, maybe 5 team fights, that's it. If you don't grab the first point within the first couple of fights, you're going to be in trouble. If you don't roll through Hollywood second stage in the first couple of fights, you're going to be in trouble. So as you mentioned, sub 7 is a pretty quick time, and that's the one they have to beat here. You know, what they're going to run offensively is not necessarily anything extra aggro. They're not going single support or anything, so they're going to run it pretty standard. But Dot on McCree is going to have to do a ton of work.
All right, well, taking a look here at the defense coming out from the side of Splyce. It is going to be Clockwork on the Reaper, Papa Smurf on Reinhardt, Pure on the Mercy, Kozin on the 76, Steel on Roadhog, and Flame going to round it out on the Symmetra. And will Flame be able to get the multiple kills here? We will just have to see.
Flame Symmetra so strong. Well, offensively, Psycho is going to be on Mercy. He's going to try to stay alive a little better than he did last round. Exy will be on Zari to help him out in that cause. Dot on McCree. Ultima's going to go over the top as Pharah. Chronic, of course, on Reinhardt, and Rolf on Lucio.
Well, here we go. The timer will be underway. Will One Shot show us a lightning fast offense, or will Splyce hold on and take map number 1? We are about to find out, but the interesting thing here, of course, is that for One Shot, they do like running McCree on offense, something that a lot of teams are not doing right now.
Yeah, but Dot's been playing a really good McCree, so I think he thinks he can get value out of it. They also might be looking for kind of a slow push here, and the second push at trying to crack the shield in a Deadeye combo.
They're moving forward. They were able to get through the archway pretty quickly, and Flame just getting deleted by Dot. Shots to the head. Dot proving McCree's worth to start this out. Now 65 in favor of One Shot. This could not have gone any better for them. If they get one more pick, that might be all they need to take this point, but Clockwork saying nuts to that. Takes out Zarya, getting in on the flank, sees two juicy supports, but eats a flashbang for his trouble. Still, though, the defense is stabilizing a bit. Flame will be back here momentarily, but I don't know. Ultimate Weapon and Dot now getting in. Very back and forth on both teams. This really could go either way, as the Resurrection now coming in from the side of the defense.
Yeah, but the defense is definitely holding here. Kozin has gone absolutely untouched up top here. The thing about pushing into Hollywood is you have to really figure out what is our biggest problem, how do we deal with it first, and the problem is that there's so many different problems on Hollywood. There's always going to be a Symmetra. Sometimes there's a Torb. Then you've got this Soldier 76 always holding a weird high ground that has to be answered too. So really, it's about the calling of we need to take out this target, then this target, then this target, and it has to be done in a specific order.
All right, so Steel right now cracking the Reinhardt shield, looking for the defensive alley. Ultimate Weapon, though, did open with a big pick, and there's the Earth Shatter coming in from Chronic, opening up the Splyce team, just slamming the hammer in the Steel. Steel, though, will survive. The defense trying to hold on here. Here comes the whole hog. Exy gonna get thrown for a ride as Steel now being the defensive rock for his team, getting way too much value off this whole hog. Rez is coming up from Psycho Waffle, but Psycho Waffle going to get up close and personal. Steel going to win that. Very back and forth on both sides.
Soldier 76
Yeah, Dot's just been doing a ton of work on his McCree. Like, it's so strange to see someone that we don't know of as like the top tier McCree really bringing it back. But his McCree's been some of the best I've seen over the last couple days. He's doggedly sticking to it. Now he's going to have High Noon too. But they are going to have to transition into something, I feel, to keep this offense going, because they don't have anything really to hold high ground except for Ultima alone up there. So Ultima does take down Clockwork, but they actually exchange kills.
They do exchange kills. The defense right now does need to take a little bit of time here to reestablish, get control of the rooftop phase. There's still 4 minutes and 20 seconds left here for the side of One Shot. So One Shot definitely can turn this back around in their favor as they move forward. The defense, though, being highly aggro. Winston charging right in. Flame trying to set the pace for his defense. And they're going to buy some time here. Everyone had to back out. Flame gets out successfully. Pretty good delay. Oh, hang on, though. Ultimate Weapon coming in over the top, looking for the Roadhog. Very risky, but able to rain justice, getting the double kill. Ultimate Weapon with some plays here, and this is going to open up the offense to go right through the middle part of the Streets phase.
Yeah, and then they're taking kind of a strange angle over here. They're already moving to the left-hand side to try to delete and get pressure on, but now they're in a great spot on the secondary roof. Dot is in a good spot, too. He's actually, I think it's a lot to deal with the Reinhardt, too, and now his Deadeye's going to come out.
Graviton coming in from Exy, and he doesn't even look at what he put in the Graviton. He's just looking for Mercy, and he will take out Mercy. That is the level of Mercy hate that you have right now in the meta, but you know what? It works out. Mercy goes down. She's not able to get a good res. Good target selection coming out from Exy, even though it is seemingly a little bit counterproductive.
Well, I mean, as long as they can clean this up pretty quickly, but that's not what's in Splyce's plans, is they're coming out to stall it out, because there's 3 minutes left for them to complete the map. They need to finish this fight right here.
One Shot, though, continues chaining deaths. The defense really just sort of came out helter-skelter. They weren't able to get positioning here, and Ultimate Weapon just feasting on the Pharah, landing rocket after rocket. Here comes another barrage. Justice still raining. It was in the forecast. A double kill from Ultimate Weapon. And now, really, One Shot making a case. They're getting through here with a lot of time, and time-wise, they still have about 2.5 minutes, a little bit more, to get to the last point. They can do this.
Yeah, they absolutely finished the fight that they had to there. Had they been stopped there, it's so long to reinforce and re-engage to take that last point. But as you mentioned, 2.5 minutes left. Dot continues his reign of terror as he takes down Steel with a long-range Peacekeeper shot. Now they're just getting some poke in as the card's the one holding them back right now. They can't go any faster on the card. They're going to send Ultima and the combo up top just to keep eyes, make sure they're not getting dropped in on. Because what would really ruin their day is a Death Blossom. But they have all the ult advantage in their favor.
All right, so here comes One Shot. They, as you mentioned, they do have a lot of ults in their favor. Xe is going to be moving forward, looking for his opportunity. Dot, of course, has the Deadeye for the follow-up. Chronic, a huge threat with Earth Shatter. Splyce needs to dig deep if they want to defend this because they do not have the ultimates. Pop a smoke with the Earth Shatter, but here comes the Graviton. 4 people pulled in from that. Dot with a bit of follow-up. Here comes the Sound Barrier, and this is looking very good indeed for One Shot as they are pushing Splyce back.
Yeah, they're absolutely cleaning up kills. Nice charge landed there by Chronic to really close it out. Clockwork's gonna get swung to his death. Only 2 spawns coming up now in Pure, Steel, and Flame, and it's just not gonna be enough. Pure's gonna try to stall this out, but they're really gonna have to trickle onto this and hope for just a miracle.
Deadeye coming out from Dot. That's gonna be a double kill, and there it is. They are going to beat Splyce this time. One Shot taking map number 1 away from Splyce. And sort of going with what I sort of expect here. I feel like One Shot has just been the more active team. They have been on the rise. We haven't seen Splyce play as much recently, and Splyce has added some downright depressing performances against some really good teams. So One Shot coming in here, beating this time. I wasn't convinced they're going to do it after their defense, but they came in strong.
Yeah, it's this fight right here that towards the end, they absolutely finish it out. They could not afford to not, and they got better Mercy play there too. They were getting some nice resurrections to keep them alive. Dot went absolutely crazy on the McCree from beginning to end. They proved me wrong thinking they needed to transition. Apparently their Pharah was enough to hold back just the top of the roofs, and then their ground game was really strong with their tank play and the McCree just cleaning up kill after kill. Rolf even says in chat, "Fan the hammer is back, boys."
Fan the hammer is back.
Please no.
Potentially the people's chagrin, but either way, we are going to be waiting here for the next map pick coming out from the side of Splyce. They will be able to choose from the remaining maps in the pool, and we'll see where they decide to bring us. By the way, it is worth noting here, just because we have had a lot of tournament formats, this is not pure GSL style where the losers are out of it. We are determining seedings off of the matches here today, so even if Splyce goes down here in the setup, they will have a second chance tomorrow as we roll into day 2.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of this tournament ready for you guys. I mean, I've looked at the schedule. I think we have, 6 or 7 more days of it. We're going through group stages. We're going through tournament brackets, all sorts of stuff. So make sure to follow the channel as well so that you know when we're going to be broadcasting more competitive Overwatch. Every night of the week, there's competitive Overwatch. But we appreciate you tuning in on this Monday night. And we're going to Dorado for the first time this evening. I've really started to like Dorado in competitive play.
Dorado is great. I mean, also, it's not starting to like. You've always liked Dorado,
That's
Hex.
true.
Don't give us that. You've always had a bias towards this map. It is not a recent phenomenon. But no, Dorado is a great map, and it's also a great map for defense. Although, the interesting thing is that we've seen periods where teams have just had iron defenses on Dorado across the board. Some of the last few times we've seen it in comp play, we've actually seen people crack through point A pretty quickly. So I don't know if that's because defenses are just not playing as well, or the offenses have gotten a little bit better about figuring out how to crack that courtyard, which oftentimes has been a huge problem for the teams involved.
Yeah, the courtyard is, much to a strange way has just been rolled over recently. In the first couple picks, I think a lot of that is the Widow nerf, because Widow used to just be able to lock down from that back arch, force teams into compositions they didn't generally want to run, force your Pharah and your Genjis to go to the right side just to deal with the Widow, maybe, hopefully, and that bought so much time to get Symmetra set up. Now we're even seeing teams not run Symmetras. The thing that I think we'll definitely see on both sides of defense is a Roadhog, as he's able to completely lock down the staircase. Anyone looking over there to try to poke in or something just gets absolutely deleted. Players like Enigma and Harblue come to mind as just dominant Roadhogs on this Dorado map.
Well, we are getting the Dorado. One Shot is up 1-0 right now over Splyce. We'll see if they can keep this going as we move forward. This is the Beat Overwatch Invitational. Thank you so much for joining us. We had over 15K viewers in the last set, so it is running right along. And thank you for your support here on this Monday night. Good times for Overwatch.
All right, so on defense, oddly enough, we might actually see the Symmetra. It's been kind of 50-50. Teams either really prefer running it. I think it's smart because the walk from spawn to courtyard here is absolutely brutal. Can lose you a game that if you lose your Mercy somewhere in the fight and don't have a resurrection up, that's it. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely done. So I think the contingency plan of the Symmetra is actually really smart too. So that is going to be Kozin running the Symmetra. Pure will be playing the single other support in Mercy. I guess Symmetra's kind of a support. Steel will be playing the defensive Reaper. Clockwork on Soldier 76. Flame on Junkrat, and Papa Smurf on Reinhardt. So no Roadhog to speak of. I think they're rather run Steel on his Reaper, but I think Roadhog's great on this map. A little surprised they're not running it.
Roadhog we've seen be an absolute staple of certain defenses. Certainly the LG defense, which has been vaunted, though. The LG defense did get sort of steamrolled through by Envy. It has been good in the past. Either way, though, taking a look here at the offense of One Shot as they get ready to move forward here. It's going to be Rolf on the Lucio, Chronic on the Reinhardt, Xe on Zarya, Psycho Waffle on the Mercy, Dot on the McCree, and Ultimate Weapon going to be rounding out here on the Fair, and we'll see just what Ultimate Weapon has in store as the offense of One Shot moves on.
Okay, so right now the defense is set up here on the roof. Now it's just for poke. The moment they feel that they've given up a lot of ground or too much shield early on, they're going to back out and go defend the arch. Yeah, so they got some poke in there, not a ton. Flame got a little damage done. Not enough poke really from Kozin. He was looking to hit the orbs. They really want to get this teleported on as soon as possible.
They absolutely do, but look at Ultimate Weapon. Good positioning him from here, landing rockets on the multiple people at the same time, building his ultimate. And you'll see this from time to time here in Dorado, where really teams will take a little bit of time before really committing. You'll see a big poke war, but the offense doing a good job to get the poke that they need here. I like what we're seeing from One Shot, and they are slowly pushing Splyce back.
Well, Chronic misses his
Chronic went way too deep there. I think he went for a quick charge, ended up going a little bit deeper than expected, and as a result, the defense just gonna be able to turn them back after what was a decent start for One Shot.
Yeah, uncharacteristic. I think we both praised Chronic in the last couple weeks as being one of the better Reinhardts, even though he's not on like the toppest of teams. I think that his individual play has been great. He actually used to be on NG Red as a small side note, but absolutely missed a charge there, put himself way too deep. Tried to take down Pure as just to save his play, but that really put the offense in a bad spot.
Yep, the overextension by Chronic definitely cost him, but the offense is back into it now. They're going to be looking for another attack, and here comes Ultimate Weapon. He's going to look for the flank, and I wonder if he'll find the teleporter. The teleporter is down. He's almost on it. He finds the teleporter, but Clockwork says, I have you in my sights. Gets attack visor up, and a big earth shot from Chronic, knocking down 4, but he doesn't have the follow-up that he's looking for. Still, though, Pure is still in this. Gets the Resurrection. Resurrection up on both sides. Both teams getting into the fray as Clockwork going to go for a long ride, getting just smushed by Chronic. As the offense now slowly making a case, and this teleporter will be going down. Or will it? Papa Smurf came in at the last moment. Oh my goodness.
Well, the good thing is that, for the offense anyway, is that they were able to take down Pure during that, so any reinforcements are going to have to come through this teleporter, which Ultima actually finds and cleans up too. So now the offense is actually making good progress. Dot had a couple kills early on there too. It's not quite over yet though. Even though this walk is very long, the cart is not close enough that they're going to be able to get this point before another fight, and that resurrection from Pure should be back up in time. They're pretty confident.
The defense will have an opportunity here to delay this out a bit. It's the offense does though have a big opportunity. The Graviton Surge pulling in 3, Ultimate Weapon over the top, protected by the Sound Bearer, gets 1 kill, gets 2, Chronic with a little bit of extra cleanup, but what a res coming in from the side of Psycho, or from the side of Pure, going to bring up some of those defenders, but it doesn't matter. The offense just cleans them up right yet again.
They were super confident that they were going to hold that defense because they were still running the Symmetra, hoping that they were going to be able to hold and then get another teleporter down and be fine, but they got absolutely gravitoned and cleaned up. Ultima's having probably his best game of the night on Pharah.
The name's McCree.
Alrighty, so the defense is going to have to reset here. Not a bad opening here from One Shot. Not the quickest capture, but we've seen teams get stuck for longer, and Psycho just a little bit too far up here. The defense gonna move forward. I'm not really sure why that many people are that far up on the side of One Shot. Feels like a little bit of a mistake, because now they're gonna have to back off on the payload. They're gonna have to give up payload time and wait for all those people to respawn.
Yeah, now they're in a great position on defense. They're still running this sim, which is absolutely unorthodox. They do have some nice sentry turrets up here on top. They're just really going all in holding this roof. They do have some nice eyes on the left-hand side in Flame. He knows that there's going to be a flank in from Ultima. Ultima's going to come in, and they're going to try to get this combo around this side to really poke at this rooftop. They know they need to take the high ground. It might just be as simple as a concussion blast. There it is.
Papa Smurf coming in, looking for the Earth Shatter. Will he drop it? No, he's going to get dropped by a rocket instead from Ultima Weapon. But Clockwork over the top took out Psycho to start out the fight. There will be no res here for the offense, and that trade's going to go just a little bit more in favor of the side of Splyce here. One shot, I think, is going to have to go back to the drawing board. As Clockwork with the high ground, just going to be able to mop this up.
Yeah, high ground's so important in every single map. This is generally where the defense wants to hold here. Now, I think the early idea of it from Ultima was interesting. He's going to switch off of a Pharah at 100%, and Dot is going to switch onto Pharah. So clearly they have something in mind they want to do, because that's a little bit unorthodox to switch just the heroes that or the players that you're running on the hero, especially at 100% barrage. Xy's also going to switch into a Winston, so definitely an interesting composition coming out here. They clearly know that they're not able to take the high ground in the way they want to just yet.
I feel like they should have at least used the barrage.
Yeah.
I mean, I get kind of why they're switching. They want to get the Genji in play, and they don't have that much of time to build up Dragon Blade, but it's just a little bit weird. I feel like One Shot's problems here haven't really been composition. It's been the fact that they were just getting picked off for no reason to start out fights, but they are getting into it. But you have the Tech Visor already coming in from Clockwork. Clockwork being an absolute beast here in the damage. Finds Psycho Waffle in the back, takes out Dot. 2 kills for Clockwork, about to be 3. The flank from Clockwork doing all sorts of work, and this is going to make the offense reset yet again.
Well, the one thing it does tell you that we've just absolutely learned for sure is that Dot can't play Genji, because there's no other reason you make that switch, is because otherwise you keep your barrage at 100% and let Dot play Genji. So obviously that's something to look forward to in the future for this one-shot roster.
Yeah, that's the case for the change up. They could have done the change while keeping the barrage, but because of players only being able to play certain things, they had to do the change up where they lost the barrage. That's a very good point. And the offense right now is going to be looking for their opportunity before it is Dot. Just getting hammered right now by Clockwork, is getting healed by the Mercy, but almost went down outright. Definitely a lot of pressure in on him. Here comes the offensive sound barrier, though, from the offense. They are moving in. Steel takes out Ultima Up, and they'll start the fight. Dot over the top, looking for some rockets in the backline, getting his kills, gets down Pure and Clockwork, getting rid of both major bombs there. And the switch up is starting to work out for One Shot. The payload is moving, and they should be able to get to the next checkpoint.
Yeah, it's just Flame up. There is a teleporter, though. The Resurrection does come through. Flame is looking for a huge flank here. Clockwork's back. They do actually get this point.
So they get the point. Clockwork coming back, not really mattering too much. He's going to have to back out nonetheless. Getting bounced around here by Winston. Deflection kill coming out from the side of Ultima Weapon. And the cool thing here for One Shot is that they're going to have Dragon Blade for the next fight. So Ultima Weapon, pretty good here in the Genji. If they can get forward and get the right Dragon Blade, they could actually finish out this map a little bit quicker than expected. But they will have to get value off of it.
Posen finally switched off his Symmetra. Now he's on Lucio. Had he done it earlier, maybe there would be a sound barrier up to negate the incoming Dragon Blade that you mentioned.
Ooh, Ultima Weapon was just a little bit too aggro there. Tried to take on the entire team, and he lost. Here comes Clockwork again with the Tech Visor, going to take out Dot, looking for more, getting the double kill. And right now, just 76 play coming from Clockwork being so effective at suppressing the enemy team.
Yeah, Flame gets some nice kills there on his McCree. His McCree's Peacemaker doing work, takes down Psycho Waffle there. So incoming, though, they have everything they want to be able to take this last point. I mean, they're going to have a barrage, they're going to have res, they have Dragon Blade out too. I think it all rests on Chronic hitting a huge Earth Shatter to start it off, and we'll see how it goes from there. But they also might even have Sound Barrier to begin this fight, as Wolf is quickly approaching 100% of his ult.
Look at Steel. Steel's just sitting here in the corner. If he lands a few shots, he'll actually build Death Blossom right away. Takes out Ultima Weapon, has Death Blossom. Here comes the Q. Steel on a massive kill, spinning right into the enemy team. All right, that's why I feel like we've seen Reapers just throw teams into the dumpster from the spot time and time again. If you're an offense and you're moving forward here, please check your right corner on Dorado, please.
Corners every time. I mean, with Reaper back in the meta, perhaps a PSA needs to be mentioned again. There are certain spots on every map that every competitive Reaper hides in that for time and time again, people don't check. This is the one on Dorado. Check your corners, please.
A little bit unfortunate there for the offensive One Shot. One Shot, they only have about 2 good pushes left. For them, ideally, with all the ultimates that they have, they actually need to make this happen here. We're going to see a Sound Barrier come out in just a moment. It's going to be followed by a Dragon Blade. Will it have value? We're going to find out. The Earth Shatter came out from defense. Not quite getting as much as they want. And now Mercy, her life is in danger. Pure going to be cut down. Beautiful slashes coming in from Ultima Weapon, opening up the defense of Splyce. And that is exactly what they needed.
Yeah, it's still kind of brawly here on the point, but Dot actually takes down Steel from his Hanzo position, which is switch I'm just catching up to now. I usually really like it considering where the defense tends to hold. You can get some really nice scatter shots in and spam. The angles on this last point are not favorable to the defense. Ultima continues to go off.
He's looking for the simple geometry. Dragon Strike is going to be on the way. This could do huge damage. That's a very tight corridor. Dragon Strike forces movement and the defense. They can't move on to the payload as a result. And in fact, so many members of the defense were up, but the Dragon Strike zoned them out and resulted in the capture there for one shot. You don't see that every day, but interesting strategy.
Hanzo, man, he's had a good day today in tournament play. Oh, that is sick clockwork flank.
Alrighty, so very... I think it started out a little bit rocky for the side of One Shot there, but they were able to pull it together in the end. And again, seeing the Hanzo zone out at the end, pretty cool stuff for a hero that doesn't really get that much play in general, let alone on Last Point Dorado.
Yeah, 851 is... yeah, I don't know, medium, a little bit slowish. I mean, I've seen teams absolutely blaze through Dorado now, so we're in a different era of Dorado, if you will. So it's a beatable time. They really stalled out on the second, but I think the choices they made hero-wise, compositional-wise from One Shot were really smart. I mean, losing the barrage was brutal, but then Dot picked it up a little bit, and I think the Genji play helped them a great deal.
Certainly did, so... we'll just see how things work out here. As we roll into the next map, is going to be, of course, One Shot on the defense and Splyce on the attack. So looking at that defense coming out from the side of One Shot, it is going to be, and don't be fooled, they have no Mercy picked right now, so Psycho is not coming out with the Stealth May, but it will be Chronic on the Reinhardt, Ultimate Weapon on the Junkrat, Xe on Roadhog, Rolf on the Symmetra, Psycho. I mean, I say this, and yet Psycho is still on. Are they actually running Dot on Lucio? No Mercy defenses?
I've seen...
okay, this is incredibly unconventional. Okay, no, he's running back. He just did that to let Symmetra get some turrets up. That makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, I've seen Mei used in that fashion before. I think FaZe used it actually to build a wall to get their Soldier 76 on this back sniper perch. So that's interesting. However, their roster remains extremely interesting as Dot comes up on Widowmaker, which we don't see very often anymore, but used to be an instant pick on this map on Dorado. Conversely, on the offense, maybe they've scrimmed each other. Maybe they know they're going to be in for a Widow because Steel, for the moment at least, is on that offensive Widowmaker. Flame is on Winston, Pure is on Mercy, Clockwork on Reaper, Papa Smurf on Zarya, and Kozin is going to be playing the Lucio. We have a Widow battle.
I do like the Roadhog coming out here on the defense from the side of One Shot, though. I think Roadhog is really good on this point. That's been proven, but the Widowmaker, that's interesting. Of course, we always used to see Widow on defense. We're seeing Widow on the attack as well, so I almost feel like we've stepped into a little bit of a time warp.
Yeah, so now it's just going to be kind of a poke war as the Arch battles continue, and we'll see who gets the better of this, the very early Widow fight, as they're going to go Arch to Arch here. Dot wins.
Dot going to win that first pickoff, though, is able to take out Steel for the defense, and not too bad. And again, Widow v Widow, it's not something you see all the time. In fact, Steel switching off to Widow, going to Pharah. I don't think he was actually expecting the defensive Widow going in there.
Well, now they know, and he's switched on to Pharah instead. So, like you said, it's interesting. I think this is probably he's going to be coming up the right side. That's exactly where he's going. Him and his Mercy. They're going to try to go over the top, but that's why these Symmetra turrets are there, so that they know when this Pharah and Mercy combo are coming over the side. There's also a Venom mine there too.
And here they are coming in over the side. Dot right now looking for the pickoff, but this is rough. If he doesn't get a headshot, Steel is just going to take him out here. Psycho Waffle helping him, Pure on Steel. Who's going to win? Widow versus Pharah. Steel right now definitely getting a little bit of the advantage. One headshot, though, could change everything. As Ultimate Weapon shooting up at the archway as Junkrat takes out Pure. And Junkrat, you don't usually expect him to get kills from that angle, but Ultimate Weapon was able to do it as Dot getting the cleanup.
Yeah, it was really gutsy for Psycho Waffle to go back there and help Dot. I mean, because you don't really expect your Widowmaker to beat the combo of Thera Mercy, so they could have lost both their Mercy and their Widow there, but that guts paid off as Psycho was able to keep Dot alive long enough to get reinforcements from the defense, and then Ultima, with a huge grenade, actually clutched that up.
Tire was going in there. Steel was able to stop it before it began, but this has been a very good defense from inside one shot here so far. But Ultra Weapon finding himself face to face with Winston, getting bounced around the building, will be able to get out. Steel finally winning that battle though versus Dot. Has Barrage in the back. Will he delete Mercy here in just a second? He will take out Mercy. Has a Barrage. Will drop it. Steel on a triple kill. Can he make it a quad? Dot taking him out, but Dot doesn't have a whole lot of teammates left now.
No, he's got no teammates left, and he's going to be in trouble. He's going to try to get what he can here. As the teleporter is coming in, they might be able to stall this out because of that.
Teleporter is very good for letting the defense get back into it, but they've lost so many people that it is going to be close. They are getting in, though, as Steel and Papa Smurf just piling on. Ultra Weapon, though, rejoining the fight. Left-clicking, just does not have a whole lot of allies, though, with him at this point.
No, and that teleporter, they'd be smart to even not go through it. Just give up the ghost on it. They are going to switch off of that Symmetra as well as Wolf comes up onto Lucio. So a couple switches, too, as Ultima is going to play the Pharah battle. They know that they need to take this high ground, and Pharah's a great character to do that with.
Taking a look here at the offense. Clockwork right now creeping on top, looking for an opportunity to get Death Blossom out here. If the defense goes full up, this could be huge for Clockwork. He's reading the defense well, and oh my goodness, is this happening, X? He's found the Mercy. Here comes the Death Blossom, and oh no, he got booped right in the Psycho Waffle. Psycho was safe because of the shield, and Psycho just got absolutely betrayed by Wolf. Oh my goodness, that is not what you want to see, and now this might be all the offense needs. Clockwork Unleashed getting the kills he needs to get.
Steel.
What a disaster.
Yeah, Steel also hit a giant mid-air on Ultima there after Clockwork got the friendly assist, the friendly fire happening there. So he was able to get some kills, and they're rolling through now because of that. I mean, losing your own Mercy to a play like that is absolutely devastating.
Lucio is just like, I'm helping, right? No, you're not. You got Mercy killed. Steel right now with the Barrage coming in over the top. Takes out Psycho, gets Chronic, gets the double kill. And the offense being relentless here. They're definitely saying a much quicker time here so far. Ultimate Weapon, a little bit late to the fight. Gains it back, looking for Pure. Will hit the delete Mercy button in Barrage. Gets the double kill. In fact, Ultimate Weapon, though late to the party, making his impact as the offense in a little bit of trouble here. Flame one of the last people remaining, going to eat rockets. Actually juking Ultimate Weapon better than you would expect. A little bit of razzle-dazzle coming out from Flame as he's still alive going to the back, and I'm not sure if I really like that. He bought time, but what was he really buying? Now he's just, his death is going to be staggered that much more.
Yeah, I mean, Steel is totally feeling it, but I mean, his defense has completely stabilized now, as I thought they were going to be rolling through to the second point. There is only 4.5 minutes left to finish the map, so not necessarily, you know, good or bad for the offense, but that sense of urgency has to be kicking in. Dot takes down Steel really early. That's going to delay this next push. That was a huge helix.
All right, Clockwork right now looking for his opportunity again. Has Death Blossom out the ready. Did a lot of work the last time we were in the situation. Will he be able to do it again? The offense right now is starting to move on to a point. They're very split up though here. Splyce, I don't like how they're positioned. The Reinhardt is like off on an island by himself. Here comes the Death Blossom Clockwork. A little bit of a panic. Death Blossom gets booped back, gets absolutely nothing. And the defensive one shot really stabilizing here. And that was just bad on Splyce. They did not go all in together, and they really paid the price for it.
It's kind of what happens, Splyce, with they're just so momentum-based that if they're going and things are going good, they look unstoppable, unbeatable, like world killers. When things start going bad and they run into a brick wall and they need something to jumpstart them, they can't find it anywhere. We might start seeing some weird switch-ups from them, too, as often happens in Splyce's case, but right now they need to just hit a huge Earth Shatter, get something going. Only 3.5 minutes left to finish this map.
Ultimate Weapon right now looking to regulate the inside of the building. Finds Flame. Flame says, I want to fight you fair, but not there. Exit with the Death Blossom. Takes out 2. Dot with the follow-up. 3 here for the defense. But the Resurrection coming in. Mercy was not one of the people that was dead. The offense has a second life. Moving forward is Flame now. Going to have attack Visor as well. Counter soldiering the soldier, but very close on the fight. And here comes the Barrage. Gets absolutely no value. And the offense is going to roll through here.
Yeah, Chronic was a little too far ahead there. He got taken down and then forced the Resurrection out of his team, but that Resurrection brings him up in the same bad positioning he died in. So that the Res was not the value they wanted on the defense. This allows them to get the cart. Now they've got a little over 2.5 minutes to finish this out.
Hang on, Hex, I need to recall your connection is dying yet again. 1 second. Sorry about that. Hex has been having connection issues here tonight. Or maybe I'm having connection issues, but then the stream would die, so I'm going to guess it's on Hex. Hex, have you rejoined us?
I have rejoined you. Am I better?
You're better. It's all good. You are no longer Mr. Destructoid.
No more, I got you.
All right, so the defense right now looking to make their last stand. They do need to hold out here for about another 2 minutes. Steel going a little bit far out, does taken out by Exy. And this is an opportunity here for the defense, but the offense moving in. Big Earthshaker coming in, though, knocks down 3 attackers. Chronic saving his team, but as he does that, the res comes in from Pure. Everyone coming back up, and the push is still on here from the offense. Clockwork getting in deep, has to back out, but still has Death Blossom at the ready. This could be anyone's fight. Chronic getting in with the charge, and the defense does look like they're going to hold.
Yeah, now they're going to be on the chase. They really want to finish off Pure here towards the end and really stagger that death, but they're staying alive. Oddly enough, they're staying kind of in. I'm not in love with this as Flame pops his ultimate. I guess he's going to take down Chronic, but that's an ult you would have liked to have. Kozen and Pure were just playing with fire there as both supports. You're not really going to get kills off them, but they stayed in. Luckily, they weren't punished for it. Flame does eventually die for popping his tack visor.
By the way, just some great poke coming in from multiple weapon there. Not the easiest angle, but does land it in. As Seal goes down to Exy. Ultimate weapon now. Will he drop the barrage? He's in good position. We're at Clockwork with the Death Blossom. Sound Barrier going to aid him here. He can go way in with the aid of this, but he's going to go way back from Reinhardt. Will be able to get out the last moment. Both teams very, very close on the point right now. The defense, though, in a slightly better position, I would say.
Pure died, too, so that, I mean, everyone's on a single life as Dot continues to clean up. He is now on a Roadhog, which is a wonderful pick here. It's really going to help against Steel, who's been taken to the skies. I think on defense especially, you want to always have at least 2 heroes that can poke and kill a Pharah. Now, we've seen it from kind of the high-level teams, too, that it's not enough to just put one person on it. It's really nice that if your Pharah hits a mid-air, that you have a McCree there to finish that off, to do the extra little chip damage to always win that fight.
Gozen gang hooked in, but it's not going to be enough. The offense coming in force. This is one of the better pushes that we've seen. But the defensive Sound Barrier is out. The defense does have options. Ultra weapon has the barrage. Barrage comes out, eliminates Steel, takes out Gozen, and there it is. GG being called. There will not be enough time here for Splyce. They are going to go down to 1 shot, losing both games in the series, and 1 shot taking it 2-0.
Yeah, one